Hello everyone, welcome to the finals of the Chessable Masters 2022. And in the first match, there are actually two matches in the finals. It is composed of 4 games each. And today is day number 1. And in day number 1, Liren won the match 2.5 to 1.5. And in his games with Black, he won with a similar theme, the pass pawn. Let's check it out. Prag was white, played d4. Ding went for knight f6, c4, c6, knight c3, d5, takes, right? You have the QGD, g5, c6. E3. Now we have the Carlsbad structure of the Queen's Gambit decline. H6, bishop h4, bishop into e7, bishop e3, normal castles, knight g2, rook e8, castles, knight b7. Ding tries to be solid in this game, and that is his approach against the young Phenom, and it worked pretty well. A4, knight into h5, we're exchanging the dark square bishop. Main point of knight h5 is that you don't allow that bishop to go back to g3. Let's say the bishop goes back to d3, just take that bishop. Takes, and just normal knight f6. You have that bishop here. You can continue with g6, put that bishop on d6, go h5, h4, right? So it takes on e7, queen takes e7, a5. Right, knight m to f8, knight c1, knight f6 back. Of course, the queen was attacking it, move it back. Knight into b3. Pragnanandhaa wants to go knight c5 here, so the king played rook b8. Yes, because you cannot go b6 with the rook on a8. Yeah. Okay, let's just say, for example, you play b6, play knight c5. You cannot play b6 because there's a pin on your rook. So Ding had to anticipate that move with rook to b8. Now, if white plays this knight c5, then you can go b6, takes, and then you take. And if the knight goes inside, you just go back to a8. Yes. So the knight will be trapped on a6. White played queen c2, b6, taking care of that c5 square, restricting the knight in b3. Takes, knight e2, c5. All right, now the push. Black has now this majority with this pawn, right? Knight f3. Now, if white decides to take this pawn, for example, takes, these are two hanging pawns, but the rook is actually also attacking that b2 pawn. So there's the counterplay. Yeah. For example, let's say rook d1. Okay, the knight can also jump to e6 and get threatened d4 here. Okay. And this is a bad situation for these minor pieces on d2, c3, and d3. Yeah. So Prag went for knight f3, c4. All right, now the expansion. Majority 2 for 1. F5, b5. Push your pawns. This is Ding's advantage. His pawns, the b and the c pawn. Knight e5, exchange the bishop, keep pushing the pawns. White played knight e2, but even if he plays knight c6 here, black has queen d6. If you take on d8, just b takes c3, rook and queen attacking the knight, and if the knight moves, pawn will just take on b2, and the other pawn goes to c3, it's game over. Or even the knight can go e4. So knight into e2, rook a8, exchanging the rook, knight f4, knight e6, right? Knight e4. It was also possible for Ding to take the knight on h5 here, takes, and then just b3. Yeah. Idea would be c3, b2. Okay, but he played knight e4. It's winning anyways. Knight e6, queen f3, queen to b7, protecting d5. Knight f5, no problem. Knight g5. Queen f4 takes. All right, no counterplay. Now, of course, the knight. Okay, if we go back here, the knight cannot take this on d6 because it takes on f3 with a check. All right, the knight is actually attacking queen, but there's an intermediate check on f3. So I have to play queen f4 first. Takes on f5, takes, and now knight e4. The knight takes away d2. Pawn is threatening b3, c3, and b2. The knight on d2 will get rid of that b1 square, the promotion square. h3, b3. Right, a final push by Ding. c3, unstoppable pawns. Takes a1, takes on c3. How do you stop b2? One final trick here for white. Rook a3, and black has to be careful. And Ding saw the danger. Right? The sense of danger is an important thing in chess. He played rook f8. That's why Ding is an elite. Yeah, that's why he's world number 2. He knows the danger of the position. Okay, what's the danger here? Let's say some young players would go for push, right? But white has this rook to b3, an important move. Let's say, for example, you promote e1, promote, right? But there's queen takes b1. The rook is also attacking b7 if you take, yes. And if you go queen takes b3, white has queen takes f7, queen g6. If you go back to g8, queen takes e8, and just queen g6, it's going to be a perpetual check. Black cannot stop the perpetual check. So it's going to be a draw, right? And how do you get rid of that one? No, you cannot stop threat. Yeah. Now the only way here for black is still rook takes e5, but still d takes e5. If you go queen takes b3, another draw. Queen c8, king h7, queen f5. You cannot stop because if you play g6, it's queen f7, king h8, queen f8, queen f7, and queen f8. That's another way of this perpetual check. So black cannot stop that one. Rook f8 ruins white's last trick. Pragnanandhaa went for knight d3. Let's keep pushing the pawn. d2, pass pawn must be pushed. All right. With that majority, he gets a piece in the end. Yeah. Rook a6, back to b7, protecting d5, attacking the rook, threatening knight e4. Now knight e4, g6, queen f4, queen to b2, attacking the weakest point on f2. Rook f1, final move, rook c8, Pragnanandhaa resigned. Now, if he continues with king to g1, Ding has rook c6. If you take the pawn on h6, rook f6. You cannot stop that threat on the weakest point, f2 square. If you play f3, then knight e2. Because if you do rook f2, knight takes check. If you go king g2, then knight e1, queen f2 is going to be right. All right. So this was the first black game that Ding won over Pragnanandhaa. And in the third game, Ding was also black. A similar position occurred. Yes, similar theme. c4 and b4, the pass pawn. Ding simply captured the pawn on c3 here. Pragnanandhaa went for rook c2, knight c5. Nice move by Ding. After takes, knight takes e4. There's rook protects c4. Rook e3, knight f6, threatening knight e5 and knight f4. Knight e2, bishop c5, rook e5, rook to b2, rook on the second rank, attacking the pawn in the knight. Knight c3, bishop b4, attacking the blockade, yes, the defender of the pass pawn. Rook c1, knight to d7, nice move by Ding, repositioning the knight to b6 to protect c4 here. Right. a4, rook to b3, and a2, bishop d2, and then c3, and the final move landing rook to b2. Pragnanandhaa resigned because if you take that rook, it's the pass pawn, the unstoppable pass pawn. So both wins by Ding Liren with black, same theme, the pass pawn. So it's an important thing in chess. Once you have the pass pawn, keep pushing it to the end. Once you promote it, you win. All right, so that's about it. It's Ding Liren winning day one of the finals. There will be another match tomorrow. It's again 4 games. Pragnanandhaa had to win that match to forge a playoff. And Ding only needs to score 2-2 to win the Chessable Masters 2022. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting our channel, Charts Matches and Charts Entertainment on Facebook and YouTube. This is Coach Oliver. Stay safe, everyone.